Welcome to Vroom Vibes. When the engine roars, luxury never stops. The 2026 BMW X7 has always been more than just the largest SUV in the Bavarian automaker's lineup. It is a statement of ambition, of presence, of authority given physical form on four wheels. Standing before it is like standing before a grand estate, not merely a house, but a residence that speaks to legacy, stature, and refinement. The X7 embodies a philosophy BMW has nurtured for decades, that driving pleasure should never be sacrificed for comfort, and that luxury should never come at the expense of performance. It is the rolling cathedral of Munich's engineering, and in the latest generation, whether one looks at it from the sweeping road of the present or through the lens of the near future, the X7 emerges as both monument and moving sculpture, as much about emotion as it is about utility. Approaching the X7, the sheer scale is undeniable. It's not just the largest BMW, it's a vehicle that commands the road before it even starts moving. The tall hood stretches forward with sculpted precision. The kidney grille, now an illuminated beacon in certain trims, looms with unmistakable confidence. And the sleek laser or icon-adaptive LED lights flank its edges like sharp eyes studying the horizon. The stance is upright but never clumsy, muscular but never brutish. BMW's designers have walked that fine line between elegance and intimidation, crafting a body that looks equally at home sweeping into a five-star hotel valet in Monaco as it does climbing winding alpine passes with a family on board. The surface work of the sheet metal reflects BMW's design evolution, crisp, taut, and infused with motion, even while standing still. Open the door, and you're transported into an interior that redefines what modern luxury feels like inside a BMW. For many, the X7 is their first encounter with BMW's commitment to 6- and 7-seat grand touring, and the cabin is a revelation. There is an air of calm opulence here, achieved not by overwhelming you with excess, but by enveloping you in thoughtful, tactile experiences. The glass-crafted gear selector sparkles under ambient lighting, while open-pore wood veneers line the dash with an organic touch. Quilted leather seating in extended merino hides cushions passengers in soft yet supportive embrace, with every contour carefully sculpted for comfort over long journeys. It's not just luxury, it's a deeply human-centric environment. What strikes you most is the space. The X7 does not merely offer 3 rows, it redefines how 3 rows can feel. The second-row captain's chairs, if so optioned, transform the SUV into something akin to a private jet cabin, each passenger cocooned with their own zone of comfort, complete with individual climate control and entertainment. Slide into the third row, and unlike many rivals where those seats feel like an afterthought, the X7 maintains dignity even here. Adults can travel in comfort, knees not forced into unnatural angles, heads not brushing the headliner. This is BMW engineering, where every seat matters. The technology that defines this space feels at once futuristic and intuitive. The expansive curved display, a seamless integration of a 12.3-inch digital cluster and a 14.9-inch infotainment screen, floats elegantly above the dashboard, powered by the BMW iDrive 8 software suite. It's more than a screen, it's a window into the machine's digital soul. Gesture control allows for swipes of the hand to adjust volume or skip tracks, while the voice assistant responds with startling naturalism to spoken requests. Augmented reality overlays can project navigation arrows directly into the real-world view, ensuring that no turn is ever missed. In the back, passengers can enjoy rear-seat entertainment systems that rival home cinema setups, transforming road trips into opportunities for immersion. Step back for a moment and consider what the X7 represents in BMW's history. This is the brand that made its reputation on compact sports sedans, on machines like the 2002, the 3 Series, the M3, cars that hugged the asphalt and spoke the language of agility. For years, purists scoffed at the idea of a BMW SUV, let alone a massive 3-row luxury cruiser. But the X7 is proof of evolution. It carries the DNA of those sedans in the precision of its steering, in the calibration of its chassis, in the way it transforms something so large into something so nimble. It is a bridge between tradition and modern demand, and it does not apologize for its scale. Instead, it weaponizes it, turning size into strength, turning mass into momentum, and turning skepticism into admiration. On the road, the BMW X7 is a contradiction beautifully resolved. One expects something of its size to be cumbersome, to wallow, to lumber. Instead, the X7 glides. Its air suspension absorbs imperfections with effortless grace, raising or lowering itself as needed, crouching low for aerodynamic highway cruising, rising tall for rugged terrain. Select comfort mode, and the world outside seems to soften, the cabin hushed as if wrapped in velvet. Switch to sport, and the transformation is startling. The steering weights up, the body tightens, and suddenly this 6,000-pound SUV begins to behave like a BMW ought to, with urgency, with composure, with joy. It doesn't defy physics, it redefines how physics can be felt. Under the hood lies a choice of powertrains, each carefully tuned to balance performance and efficiency. The 3.0-liter inline-six, turbocharged and boosted with 48-volt mild hybrid technology, delivers smooth and responsive thrust, a reminder of BMW's mastery of six-cylinder engines. For those craving more, the 4.4-liter twin-turbo V8 roars with authority, transforming the X7 into a grand touring missile capable of surging from standstill to highway speeds in a heartbeat. These aren't just engines, they are statements, mechanical symphonies of power and refinement that give the X7 a voice as commanding as its presence. It's easy to talk about numbers, about horsepower and torque, about acceleration times and towing capacities. But the X7 is not just a collection of figures, it's about how it makes you feel when you drive it. There's a particular moment, merging onto a highway, the sun setting in your rearview mirror, the cabin bathed in soft ambient glow, where you press the throttle and feel the surge of controlled power, where the road seems to open just for you. It's in those moments that the X7 transcends being a machine. It becomes an experience, a companion, a reminder that luxury is not passive, it is participatory. The X7 also carries with it the weight of responsibility in an age where sustainability is no longer optional. BMW's commitment to electrification and efficiency finds its way here, not just in hybrid assistance, but in the way the SUV is engineered for reduced drag, for optimized fuel consumption, for integration with future electric infrastructure. Inside, sustainable materials are available. Leathers tanned with olive leaf extracts, trims crafted with renewable resources. It is luxury with conscience, proving that indulgence and responsibility need not be enemies. Globally, the BMW X7 has become more than a flagship SUV. It has become a cultural marker. In North America, it's a symbol of success, a vehicle that announces its arrival in suburban driveways and urban high-rises alike. In China, it embodies aspiration and prestige, a mobile extension of personal achievement. In Europe, where roads are narrower and tastes lean subtler, it stands as proof that BMW can deliver presence without sacrificing refinement. Each market sees the X7 differently, yet universally, it is respected as the crown jewel of BMW's SUV family. There's also something deeply emotional about the way families interact with the X7. This is a car where milestones happen, where children are driven to their first day of school in the third row, where road trips become family legends, where the back seat hears secrets, laughter, and the occasional sibling squabble. The cargo bay carries luggage, sports gear, the odd flat-pack furniture box, and in those moments it is no longer just an SUV, but a facilitator of life. Luxury cars often aim to impress their drivers. The X7 manages to embrace everyone within. Yet, for all its practicality, the X7 never loses sight of what makes a BMW, the thrill of the drive. Point it down a curving road, and there's a subtle grin that creeps across your face, a grin that says, yes, this is still one of Munich's creations. The balance of the chassis, the feedback through the wheel, the way it corners with poise, these are reminders that beneath the luxury, beneath the grandeur, lies the heart of a driver's machine. The exterior design also tells a story of evolution. Early criticisms of BMW's bold grilles and larger proportions have given way to acceptance and admiration. The X7 wears its design language with pride, its proportions smoothed, its details refined. The split headlights of the facelift give it a distinct identity, one that separates it from the X5 below and sets the tone for future models. It is unapologetically large and unapologetically confident, yet never vulgar. It carries the gravitas of a flagship with the grace of a grand tourer. Inside, small touches remind you that BMW understands luxury as something intimate. The crystal glass controls catch the light like jewelry. The panoramic Sky Lounge LED roof, peppered with tiny lights, turns night drives into celestial experiences. The audio system, especially the optional Bowers and Wilkins Diamond surround sound, transforms the cabin into a concert hall where every note, every instrument is delivered with breathtaking clarity. These are not gimmicks, they are enhancements of the human experience, details that elevate the everyday into the extraordinary. It is easy to forget, in the presence of such grandeur, that the X7 is also deeply functional. Fold down the rear seats, and a cavernous cargo hold awaits, swallowing everything from weekend adventure gear to the spoils of a cross-border shopping trip. Tow a trailer, and the X7 proves its strength, hauling with confidence and stability. Venture off the beaten path, and its all-wheel drive system, paired with adaptive off-road modes, ensures that luxury doesn't stop where the pavement does. It's a reminder that this isn't just a showpiece, it's a tool, engineered to perform in every scenario. But perhaps the most profound aspect of the BMW X7 is the way it makes its owners feel. This is not a vehicle you buy by accident. It is a deliberate choice, a reflection of priorities and personality. Driving an X7 is to embrace visibility, to accept that you will be noticed, that heads will turn. Yet inside, it is a sanctuary, a private world where the stresses of the outside melt away. It's an SUV that projects strength outwardly while delivering serenity inwardly, a duality that few machines achieve so seamlessly. In many ways, the X7 is the ultimate expression of BMW's philosophy in the 21st century. The brand that once defined the sports sedan now defines the luxury SUV. But far from abandoning its roots, it has transplanted them, proving that the values of precision, engagement, and engineering excellence are not bound to size or segment. The X7 is not just the biggest BMW, it is one of the most BMWs of BMWs, a car that encapsulates both where the company has been and where it is going. And when the day is done, when the X7 returns home and settles into its driveway, there's a sense of completeness it leaves behind. It doesn't just transport you, it transforms the journey. It doesn't just carry passengers, it carries moments, memories, ambitions. It is at once machine and companion, status symbol and sanctuary, tool and artwork. And as the engine clicks cool and the ambient lights dim, it reminds you why we love cars in the first place. Not for their utility, not for their numbers, but for the way they make us feel alive, for the way they reflect who we are and who we aspire to be. Subscribe for more videos, and don't forget to hit the notification bell.